Clutch like a fresh titty on a warm Tuesday morning.
Thank you for that wonderful opening line from this video.
Thank you, cold openings.
It's 1 a.m. We're all a bit silly at the moment, but
It's 12:57.
No, it's not.
Shh.
Is it?
It's
Yeah.
12:58 now. Yeah.
Ha! You were wrong.
No, he was right. Now he's wrong.
He was. Now he's wrong.
That's what I said.
Shut up.
So, I played this for a bit. I got to level 2, and then was reminded that as soon as you get to level 2, you get another blot of text, and this is just the bit that lets you say, yes, I'll go see more text. So I figured I'd read this. I've been just sitting on this page for days. Well, I mean, I've turned it off and come back to it, but,
No, he's just literally been sitting here. We've had to feed him. You don't want to know the rest of that story.
That's not apple juice in that bottle. It's not Mountain Dew either.
Why would you go to apple juice?
that's the usual thing.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
I always heard lemonade.
Oh, no, I've always heard apple juice.
It's not pink. Not pink. Pink.
Well, it's not.
It has a problem.
It's not yellow snow. Well, it is yellow snow.
Good job. So,
Okay.
you are. So reading this again, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this bit of plot on the channel or not, or let you go play it on your own. But then I remembered it is a big chunk of text. So, another minute in new home, another naked person. Growing slowly accustomed to all the wobbly bits on display, you don't notice this particular naked person until she catches your eye, waves, and shouts, "Hey!" You've never seen her before. You wave politely back, before realizing that if she's simply a random crazy naked person waving at you for no reason in particular, waving back could turn out to be a mistake. She scurries over to you through the throng of people. "I saw you before," she says when she's within crazy stabbing range. "You're the one who fell before I did." "Oh hell, she really is crazy." "The one who fell before you did?" you ask, very politely, hoping that you're not about to receive some sort of crazy sermon, or even the previously feared crazy stabbings. "Shit, I made eye contact. That means we're married now." She points upward. "From the plane? You were talking to that mad woman with the glasses and the red turtleneck?" She gestures briefly to a bruise across her belly. "I landed in the tree, and she made fun of my cellulite?" Recognition dawns, and the crazy fear subsides a little. "Yeah, I remember. Sorry I didn't recognize you, only I hadn't. The natural awkwardness of being in a place full of naked people slowly makes itself known. I hadn't seen your face." The brunette senses the awkwardness and hangs her hat upon it. "Only my arse," she says happily. "Only your arse, yes," you sigh. "Not an ideal way to get acquainted." "Then let's start again." "Hello," she cries, holding up a hand and waving. She's kind of infectious. You can't help but grin and play along. "Hello." "I'm Jill," she says, holding out her hand. You take it and give it as much of a shake as seems polite. "Dragonfoot Mcgee, new in town." "Hey, me too," she grins. So, she hesitates. "Weird question, but can I buy you a coffee?" You look at Jill for a moment. She's still naked, still unarmed, and her bandolier is empty. You're about to ask her whether it'd be a better idea to spend her money on equipment when she catches your eye, and her smile, although still present in her lips, seems to die from the eyes up. "Please talk to me before I go crazy," says Jill very quietly. "Just a few minutes with someone still as confused as I am, that's all I'm after." "What do you say to that?" "Sure, sounds good. Also, did this ever... I can't hear this at all. Oh. No? I guess it's just quiet. Oh well.
It's really gonna suck if he's gonna get to the end of this and it ends up.
I mean, you always post music afterwards.
Yeah.
As long as his voice is getting...
No, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
That would suck.
It probably is. I am recording, aren't I? Yes.
I hear it.
Yeah. Oh, I turned the volume up. And still no. This side isn't usually this bad. It's just that I went to this page a few times and then left again without doing anything probably messed it up a little bit. So Joe's diner. Joe doesn't seem perturbed by being somewhat underdressed, but then neither does the perpetually greasy Joe. You suppose he must be used to it by now, along with everyone else in the diner. Joe returns to your table and sets down the 2 coffees. You glance up at the pricing board. Given that those 2 coffees would have just cost 100 rec tokens, and Jill would have started with 80, she must have sold one of the grenades, medkits, or ration packs she got at the council offices. If she's selling her equipment as well as going unarmed and unarmed and unarmored, in order to pay for a few minutes of normality, Jill must really need a friend right now. Either that or she's crazy as you initially suspected. You suppose you'll soon find out. So, you say in what you hope is a reassuring tone, what did you do before this? Jill sips her coffee. Pre-crash administration and secretarial work. After the EMP bombs went off, I became a blacksmith. You grin. I've heard more dramatic transitions, but not by much. Jill smiles back. You don't get arms like these by poking at a touchscreen all day. I just hope they come in handy against all these monsters I've been hearing about. She looks at the table. I saw you coming out of the jungle. You've seen them. They're real? You nod slowly. I've seen them. Have you? She hesitates as if disbelieving the words coming out of her mouth. You know, killed any of them?
Why?
I'll stop now.
Why?
I told you we were silly. You look down and take a sip of your coffee. Not all of them, you eventually reply. Some I just knocked out and collected the wreck. 1 or 2 ran away. I still got the reward for those ones too. But yes. You look back up at Jill. I've killed monsters, you chuckle softly. Never thought I'd say that. Jill takes a sip of coffee and a deep breath. I see you've already got some bandages, she says, gesturing to your arms. How dangerous are we talking here? You pause and think for a moment. I wasn't what you'd call a great monster hunter when I landed, you say, and I'm still not. I'm just a normal person like you. The monsters around here seem, honestly, not all that hard to take down. Some of them are vicious, yeah, but you struggle to see the bright side. Well, none of them are particularly bright, for one thing. Oh, and the grenades help. If it's looking desperate, you can always blind them with a zap or try to blow them up with a bang. Considering I've never used a grenade, it's kind of odd hearing him say that, but you refrain from telling Jill that despite the weakness of individual monsters, there really doesn't seem to be any end of them. Far from being reassured, she actually seems to turn a little paler. I was kind of hoping that you'd say you were at the army, but that the monsters were too tough for someone like me to handle. A nervous smile edges across her lips. It all seems real now. Real, living, breathing monsters. She looks out of the window. That I'm expected to fight. God help me. If you're religious, then I guess that might help. I'm not, says Jill, turning back to you. My dad was, though. And old sayings die hard. When I drop a hammer on my toe, I say Jesus Christ. That's just how it works, I guess. The knuckles gripping her coffee cup whiten for a moment. Do you have any, she pauses and her chest heaves in a deep, hopefully calming breath. Do you have any advice for, fighting monsters? You think for a moment. Yeah, don't fight them. Make a living buying and selling at E-Boy's place. I've heard that the prices fluctuate all the time. It's kind of like playing the stock market. Keep an eye on the trends, you could probably make good money. Jill shakes her head. Too close to my old job back before the crash. I was working for a useless company that produced nothing, just moved money around. I don't want that life anymore. You look at Jill carefully. In that case, do you know how to throw a punch? Jill sips her coffee, not making eye contact. I was about to say yes, but then I realized I've only ever seen people punch each other in films. And just what do you say to that? I really don't know what happens if you say no to either this or the previous one. I usually just take her. I can show you, you respond. To be fair, I haven't picked up much myself yet, but as one rookie to another, I can at least show you what I know. Jill smiles back at you. I'd really appreciate it. Would you mind if we stuck together for a few fights? Just long enough so that I'd have enough for some clothes and maybe... She pauses for a moment. God, it's still so unreal. I was going to say a weapon of some sort, but clearly that'd be ridiculous if I wasn't on some bizarre monster-infested island. You nod. I'm okay with that. Do the reward hoppers pay out double if there are 2 combatants? Jill looks down. Actually, I don't think they do. You take a sip of coffee that represents half of Jill's material wealth as of a few minutes ago. And what happens then? Again, not sure what happens if you say this, but if we'll just have to split it down the middle then, you say it with a grin. Something lights up in Jill. It happened slowly enough for you to see it happening and, for a moment, almost feel good about being in this mad place. Really, she says. Really. Jill's smile, like the rest of her, is infectious. The sort of infection that makes you feel great about yourself. And why wouldn't you? You're helping out someone who needs it, after all. A couple of seconds pass in which you grin at each other like buffoons. Excuse me. Well, you eventually say, knowing that the silence would probably get awkward very soon. Let's get started. You have a new companion. Jill will join you for a little while. She'll help you out in combat for long enough for her to get the hang of things. You can't hurt Jill yourself, and she's got enough sense to take cover when you use explosives. But she's as weak as your character was when you first started the game, and the monsters in level 2 are far more vicious than those in level 1. Be careful. And let's see. Alright.
I wonder if she had as much sense as you when you were level 1.
You mean the selling the thing to get weapon and armor and
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, she already sold a couple of her things. I mean,
To be fair, I don't think I did that my first playthrough. Strap my butter knife to my back and head out for adventure.
it still sounds weird.
Yeah. Get 1 extra spatial awareness used for today. I'm still healthy, trim, and slender. Good. That's, what you eat changes that. So, council office, same shtick as yesterday. Oh, I'm gonna cut it here, so that people can find this one as that bit of text. And I'll be doing that anytime there's a lot of reading to do. I may go through the museum and do it, I don't know. And maybe the training? I might put that in somewhere. But, yeah, so I'll label those. I might even make a playlist of just the ones that are a bunch of text. And then I'll have the other ones that are me actually playing the game not labeled as such, but, you know. I'm tired. This is the end of the video. See you later.